What if the popular Big Three productivity advice is actually holding you back? Some days I only need to accomplish one thing. Other days, it's four. Forcing a fixed number created more guilt than progress for me, so I stopped. Today, I'm sharing you what I do instead and why this flexible approach has been more sustainable and effective. Hey, my friends, welcome back to the Mr. Productivity Podcast, or if this is your first time listening, welcome. I'm your host, Mark Struczewski, also known as Mr. Productivity, and my website, mrproductivity.com. Today, I'm sharing with you something that may ruffle a few feathers in the productivity world. I don't believe in the Big Three. You know the advice. Almost every productivity coach, podcast, guru, whatever name you want to use, says it. Pick your three most important tasks for the day and crush them. It sounds focused. It sounds disciplined. But in real life, it often creates more guilt than progress. I see you nodding your head. I can see right through the podcast player. Some days, I only need to accomplish one thing. That's it. Just one thing. Other days, it's four. And some days, it's zero. What? Yes, some days, the most important thing I need to do is simply rest and recovery. I've got another podcast episode I did that talks about the importance of taking one day off a week. Now, I choose the Sabbath, which is generally observed on a Sunday, but you don't have to be a religious person to take a day off every week. This is kind of like zero things to do, unless you want to say my one thing is to rest and recover. But forcing a fixed number every single day doesn't respect the reality of life or the reality of what actually needs to get done. So in our time together, I'm going to explain why the Big Three often backfires, what I do instead, real stories from my own life and clients, and a simple, flexible approach you can start using this week. If you've ever ended the day feeling like a failure because you only got one big thing done, well, my friend, this episode is for you. So let's dive in. Chapter 1, why the Big Three often backfires. Now, I used to follow the Big Three rule myself. Every morning, I'd force myself to pick exactly three important tasks. Some days, it felt great. I knocked them out and feel like a champion. But other days, life happened. Energy was low, a family need popped up, an unexpected client fire appeared, or I simply didn't have the bandwidth for three big things. When I only got one or two done, I felt guilty. I felt like I failed that day. That guilt is the opposite of productive. After years of coaching clients and living this myself, I realized the problem. A fixed number ignores the reality of fluctuating energy, unexpected events, and different day types. Many of us end up choosing tasks just to hit the magic number instead of focusing on what really moves the needle toward your goals and your dreams. The result? More pressure, more self-judgment, and ironically, less real progress. Chapter 2, what I do instead, the flexible approach. So I stopped forcing the Big Three. Now I focus on what actually needs to get done, not the number. Here's exactly how I do it. At the end of each day or first thing in the morning, I ask myself one simple question. What's the one thing or what are the few things that will move me toward my goals? What are the things that will move me forward today the most? I write them down without forcing a specific count. If it's one big project that deserves my full attention, that's enough for me. If it's four smaller but important tasks, that's fine too. The key is clarity and honesty with myself, not hitting an arbitrary number. This keeps me flexible. On high energy days, I can handle more. On low energy days or when life throws curveballs, one focused task is plenty. I've seen the same shift with clients. The ones who dropped rigid numbers started making more sustainable progress because they stopped beating themselves up. Chapter 3, the benefits of this flexible mindset. Here's what I've noticed since making the switch. 1, less guilt and self-pressure at the end of the day. 2, more realistic expectations that match real life. 3, better decision-making. I focused on impact instead of checking boxes. 4, improved work-life balance. I can adapt when my family needs arise or when my energy is low. And 5, short-term sustainability. I trust myself more instead of constantly feeling behind. Productivity isn't about hitting a perfect score every day. It's about moving forward consistently with grace. Chapter 4, your challenge and practical next step. Here's my challenge for you this week. Try dropping the pressure of a fixed number. At the start or end of your day, simply ask, what actually needs to get done today to move me forward? Write it down. Don't think about it, although it's good to think about it. Write it down. Do what you can, but give yourself grace for the rest. Notice how it feels compared to forcing the big 3. Many people tell me it feels lighter and more sustainable. So here's the bottom line. Productivity isn't about hitting an arbitrary number. It's about focusing on what actually moves you forward with flexibility and grace. Now, if this episode resonated with you, I would love to hear from you. You can hop on over to my website, mrproductivity.com/contact, and send me a message. I'd like to know what's one thing you need to get done this week, no matter how many other things you have on your list, the big 3, the big 2, the big 6. What is one thing you need to do? I want you to head on over to my website, mrproductivity.com/contact, or you can hit me up on LinkedIn or Instagram. Now, if you would like help figuring out what truly needs your focus right now and how to do it without the guilt or rigid rules, head on over to my website, mrproductivity.com, the homepage, scroll down, and you'll see a button where you can sign up for a free call from me, Mr. Productivity. Thank you so much for your time and attention for listening to this episode of the Mr. Productivity Podcast. I hope to hear from you soon, but until next time, stay happy, stay positive, and most importantly, stay productive.